my name's June and I've been a short break carer for 27 years. A friend had a child with disabilities who fitted. Dad went to work away and she was struggling, taking the other little boy to football. So I used to have her for a couple of hours of a weekend. That's how I became a short break carer, because this became a bit more regular, and eventually Mum asked me whether I'd consider becoming a short break carer. I wasn't aware that there was such a thing until Mum asked. And the little one then came to me regularly with the support of social services. When she moved on, then they asked me if I could place another child, and I was happy to do so. I had a lot of support, a lot of training in place. I felt comfortable with that. They arranged for me to meet the family to see if the family would consider me and felt comfortable with me. And from there, we met the child. Initially I went for tea to there, and then the child came to me for tea, and we built up that relationship with the child and the family until we were all comfortable with the child coming to stay. It worked really well, and hence I've been doing it for 27 years. I have had people ask me over the time, well, how do you just do this with a child? Well, you don't just do this with the child. You have to feel comfortable that you can meet that child's needs, but then parents have to be comfortable that you meet the child's needs, so that has to be put into place, which is why you meet the parents first. The parents meet you. At any given time in that process, I can say I don't feel comfortable I can meet that child's needs, and I wouldn't feel bad saying that. The other side of that is that family could say, well, I don't think this is a suitable connection for my child, and that's okay too. You don't really have that understanding that there are families out there that find all them activities we take for granted difficult to do. If you've got, wheelchairs or equipment you need to take, you've got other children, that can be difficult for them families. Whereas when you're on that one-to-one with that child, it's not. You've got time to prepare. I had a grandma who looks after her grandchild, and the first weekend he'd come, she'd said, I'd forgotten what it was like to have a lie-in of a weekend. And they're things we take for granted. That grandma has one weekend a month where she can have a lie-in. Or that family might just have that one weekend a month where they can spend time with the other children or go to a football match. Or they can put the other children to bed and Mum and Dad can have a meal and a little drink. These are things we all take for granted, which can be difficult if you've got a child with additional needs. My son was about 7 when I first started, and he was an only child. So he absolutely loved the fact that he had almost to him a sibling to play with, somebody he could help, and somebody that they could do things together. Because that child came and we did have that extra funding, it meant that we had the funding to spend for the 3 of us to go out and spend time. Funding that as a single mum back then, I wouldn't have had extra funding. Meant we could access activities and go out for a meal or the place. He loved having the children here, and there are some of the children that he still keeps in contact with, or if they're out, they'll meet up and sit and have a chat. If you're interested, it's absolutely nothing to make that first inquiry. With anything that you do, the first step's always hard. And at any stage, if you feel maybe this isn't not right for me, well, that's fine too. There are all these wonderful children out there and families that need this support, and it only takes that one little step to see if it's the right thing for you to do. If it isn't, then you can always say at any point it's not, but please try, because I've had wonderful years in my family. I've had wonderful years with the children that have come to stay with us.